criticisms of the way the management have handled this will add weight to people like you who are opposed to the BBC.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, we're not opposed to the BBC strictly. The thing is, we don't want it to be publicly funded, to be forced to be funded by people who are reluctant to pay for it just for watching a live broadcast TV. So, yeah, the thing is, the BBC lurches from one sex scandal to another and is shown to be incapable of, actually dealing with these kinds of issues in a timely, appropriate manner. As you've just said there, they have sat on this allegation for over 7 weeks now, and it's only when pressure was brought to bear by the mother of this person, by going to the Sun newspaper, that the BBC has actually then swung into action. And what action has it actually taken? It then took a further day for them to actually suspend the presenter. So that, this is it's not an acceptable way to run a publicly funded organisation. So what we would say is, let's get rid of the licence fee, let the BBC stand on its own feet, let it be answerable to people who willingly pay for it, and then we'll start to see them behaving in a more appropriate way. But this is just completely unacceptable.
What should be done next, Rebecca?
Well, they need to say who the presenter is, first and foremost, because at the moment the light is people are sort of wondering who it is, and therefore this sort of negative viewpoint is being cast on all the male presenters at the BBC. So I would have thought they would all be looking for the name to be released, and for a full disclosure of what's happened and full transparency, because what we see from the BBC is that they try and brush everything under the carpet, and then they spend years sort of hoping that it goes away, and then they do their own internal reviews, and then they whitewash it, and that's simply not acceptable anymore. We've seen it enough times, and the public are prepared to keep paying for this.
I suppose the fact remains we don't actually know what the nature of the complaint was back in May. Obviously, once we know more about that, that will change, perhaps our perspective on how swiftly they've responded to this. The Culture Secretary says that she's been given assurances they are dealing with this swiftly. I suppose the big question now is, as you say, whether they name the star or whether or not actually he has a right to privacy, given that he has a private life, no criminal charges have been brought yet. This didn't happen on BBC Property or on BBC Time. Just because the public are interested, I suppose they have to weigh that up, don't they? Public interest versus privacy.
Indeed, but they have had 7 weeks, and I think the thing is, what they need to have done in that time frame is to have looked at what the allegations were, and if it is something that is fairly straightforward, if it's something, let's just speculate and say that it's through OnlyFans or whatever, and therefore that the person in question has lied about their age or whatever. Let's investigate these things, turn it around quickly, and then we would have some answers, and then we can have a debate about what that means and whether a big name BBC presenter should be using OnlyFans. Let's have the open debate, because this is an organisation that's paid for currently by the British taxpayer. It is a tax. For watching any live TV, and I think so they need to be open and honest, and they have had the time to look at the report and let's have the debate about it.